Alright, there's where our food is. Okay, we are in Santa Cruz right now. The weather is a little bit dismal. They're calling for a nice big storm to come through here. I just ordered some takeout from down the road. But we are probably in one of the smallest RV parks that I've ever been in, and one of the most expensive on top of that. I'm not too terribly impressed. We really couldn't park our truck next to the RV. We had to park it over here off to the side. Then our RV is over there. I forget how many spots they have here, maybe 13. They're all pretty tight. There is a little dog park, if you want to call that, for dogs, but it's probably about 64 square feet altogether. They have a little sitting area, and there's not much to it. No picnic table, no fire ring. We do have full hookups, so that is nice. And actually, it was the closest that we could get to. We're going to go up to San Francisco tomorrow and go to Muir Woods, across the Golden Gate Bridge. Our original trip was going to take us up to the Redwood Forest in Northern California, but we cut that short because of weather. We thought that there would be too much snow trying to cross over the Sierras in Northern California. So we were disappointed that we were not going to see the redwoods, but we get a little taste of it here in John Muir Woods. And then we're moving on to Yosemite. Yosemite itself has been kind of an ordeal just to get reservations because of being such a short notice. I put myself on a waiting list, and we've had some backup plans of BLM land, but I've managed to get 4 nights in the park so far, 3 nights at an RV park that is not park related but outside of the park. So we have 7 nights in the Yosemite area. And if I get any more notices, I might change those plans again. But so far, crossing my fingers that the sites I picked we can fit into. Because right now, they look a little tight. Tight is going to be the key word when it comes to Yosemite, especially when it comes to this tunnel coming up. My truck is 11 feet 10 inches.
45 minutes earlier.
Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay.
Would you like a map?
Yeah.
Have a great time.
We're going to Upper Pines. We kind of got rerouted from our original.
Because of the landslide?
Yeah, is there any low bridges we need to worry about or anything like that?
I think you're going to be fine. Do you know the height?
I think we're 11:10.
11?
11 feet 10 inches.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're absolutely fine, but it does say max height 10 feet 2 inches.
Is that
It says Wawona Tunnel.
Is it that on the edges maybe?
Wawona Tunnel is 13 feet 6 inches at the curb.
Okay.
Full-size tour buses can drive through while remaining in their lane.
Okay. I think we'll be alright then.
I don't want to tell you something that's not true.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like a tour bus is taller than you. But
I would
I'm
hope.
not sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to guarantee anything.
Right.
I do know that Wawona Tunnel, when you go through it, there's a pullout on the left before you go through it, so you
Yeah.
have the opportunity to turn around.
The bail.
And then it does have the heights on there, but it's going to be the same as what I just told you.
Okay, how far up is that?
It takes about 45 minutes to get up there.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we got a
sorry, you
little
have to
while.
drive all the way to find.
Okay, no
But
problem.
Yeah, this is what it says in my.
Alrighty.
Well, thank
This is
you.
14 feet tall, 10 feet wide.
I'll let you know, or you'll be the first to
tell
know.
me.
Yeah. All right. Thank
Thank you.
Take care. So the 10 feet 2 inches clearance on this bridge is right on the right side or the left side. So if you are hugging that really tight, it is very intimidating. It gets more intimidating when you have some oncoming traffic like another camper. Even though we're probably fine, it still feels like a tight squeeze, and you naturally want to gravitate to the center of the road, even crossing over the median. As a feeling of relief comes upon you as you know that you only have a little ways to go, once you get to the opening of that tunnel, something magical happens. It almost feels that you've entered a different world and that it's a fantasy land. You see the large waterfall, you see the granite mountains. It's just a beautiful scenery. Now last night, before we arrived, they did get a couple inches of snow. Some of that has since melted, but there is a little bit left on the ground. The higher elevations, all the roads are closed up there right now. So we'll be spending about a week down here in Yosemite Valley.
I'd pull in there and then come in an angle. I moved the picnic table.
Okay, so we've gone through a tight squeeze in that tunnel, and now we got a pretty tight squeeze with this campsite. Now the site itself is not bad. A lot of them are rated for a certain amount of feet, and that includes your tow vehicle and the
Straight
trailer. This one was rated for 17 feet. We have a 26-foot trailer. Now we felt as long as we can get the trailer in here that we could back up as far as we need to, thus the trailer being longer than what's required, it should be okay. But it's all the obstacles in front of the campsite. It's a narrow road. If there's somebody right directly across from you, you really can't use it to help you turn around. Also, you've got stones, you've got large trees, you've got these curbs, you've got the post that tells you what site number you're at.
You're gonna hit that curvish thing on the other side. So I don't know if you can pull forward and then back. Hit the pinch. All right. All right. Now we'll watch. You got about 6 inches before you're going to pinch. You got about 6 inches before you're going to pinch. All right, I'm going towards the back now. Okay, come on. Okay. If you could pull that way and straighten out. Boop.
Now we're here at this site for 2 nights. After 2 nights, we're going to have to pick up and move to another site for 1 night, and then we'll move to another site after that for 1 night, and then we'll move again. tight squeeze, but we even got the nose of the truck off of the main road area. We are a little bit close to the fire pits, so there won't be any campfires while we're at this site. I don't think I hit anything major backing in, but there was an earthquake. Karen felt it while she was in the trailer, said it was rocking back and forth, but I was outside and didn't notice it. Now, talking about your tight squeeze, somebody else lost their awning here. I'm assuming it got ripped off by a tree. It could have been set up and the wind could have blew it off, but I can't imagine the wind being too high down in the valley here. This is our first time here in Yosemite. All I can say is that Yosemite is a visually stunning park. Everywhere you look, the views are spectacular. I'm so glad we could get some campsites within the valley. Now it's mid-April. Most of the time of our stay, the temps are going to go down to the mid-30s overnight and hover in the 60s in the daytime. So not too bad, especially if you're going to be hiking some of these trails. Since you're in the valley, everything is going to be up. You're going to be looking up at scenery, and if you take a hike, all your hikes are going to start out with elevation gain. And not easy, not moderate, but strenuous. A good reason to come here in mid-April is the waterfalls. The waterfalls are pretty much running at full steam. These waterfalls are fed from the snow melt over the wintertime, and if you were to come here in late July or August, they would most likely be a trickle and maybe even non-existent. But there is a drawback to coming in April, and that is most of the higher elevation roads are closed. So if you do want to get some spectacular views from a high point, you're going to have to hike up there and bring some cleats you can put on your hiking boots for ice. I mentioned that everywhere you look there's a stunning view, and to prove my point, even at the dump station, you can't beat the view at this park's dump station. We're surrounded by these tall pine trees, but if you look through the pines, you can see the mountains all around you, which is pretty nice. These mountains were formed by glaciers many, many years ago. It's just a beautiful landscape, something that you don't find every day in most national parks. Now we've been able to run a generator 3 times a day if we want to. Usually I just do it in the morning for an hour and a half and then right around supper time for 2 hours. And that's allowed here in the park. And it's pretty much necessary with the amount of tree cover we have here because we're not really getting much solar. So that's enough to charge up our batteries. We've been using our furnace on the RV itself, so we're using up a lot of propane. I think we'll be down 1 tank. It's taken us 36 days to go through 1 tank. So we're in pretty good shape. We're going to start using the other tank tomorrow. We visited some family just east of LA a couple weeks ago, and they just so happened to have scheduled a vacation up here in Yosemite for a week. So we got to hang out with them, which worked out really nice. Now this bear looks like a grizzly or a brown bear, but technically it is a black bear. They just have a different color coat. Some bears in Yosemite are brown like this, some are a little bit more blonder, especially when they're younger, but they have a temperament of a black bear. Kind of the routine right now. We've got 2 more nights to stay here. Starlink has been working halfway decent. Again, Starlink is kind of hard to use here with all the tree covers, but we found a little opening here. And periodically we have an outage, but for the most part it's been working pretty good.
I love your truck.
Oh, thanks.
You almost got that color.
Yeah, it cost extra, unfortunately, but
Yeah, no, it's a cool. Those like toned down colors are really cool.
yeah, I like it. It's worked out good for us. I had a F-150 before this, and we've taken this trailer on some pretty high boondocking sites, and
Yeah.
my F-150 would have never made it.
Yeah, I have a 350, and it's we've taken it. We've had it 2 years, and I've never had a truck in my life. I went from never having a truck to a 350, and I will never not have a truck.
Yeah, the gas mileage hurts a little bit, but is it diesel or is it gas?
It's diesel.
Yeah, this is gasoline.
Have a good day.
Yeah, we're moving to 92 in a little bit here
Okay.
whenever it opens up. But thanks.
Yeah, just go up there. So either I'll be there or someone else will be there.
At the regular gate?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
You're fine. You're fine. You're not gonna hit yourself.
Could.
Huh?
Could.
Okay.
I would just keep watching this to make sure I'm not going to hit the axle or anything.
Yeah.
So I'll just stay on this side.
Come on. Excellent.
Huh?
I think it's on.
Turn it up. Oh boy.
Holy. Oh, that's we came off of this. That's right.
We're about 4.5 inches off. We could deal with 1/2 inch. Yosemite Falls is the highest waterfall in North America, plunging 2,425 feet from the top of the upper falls to the base of the lower falls. There are 3 sections: the upper Yosemite Falls, middle Cascades, and the lower Yosemite Falls. There are several falls throughout the park, and it's time to do a little hiking. I'm going to hike up to Vernal Falls and see what that's all about. Hey!
Think Willow had that in her?
No. So that's Vernal Falls.
Okay.
The bridge you were talking about?
Yep, good timing. We've only been here maybe 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
As I said, most hiking trails are going to lead you up. This one is very strenuous. It is worth the view once you get to the top, but you are going to have to work for it. Now you can keep going, and the trail will continue on and connect to other trails up here, but I do want to be able to walk tomorrow, so I think I'm going to head back down. Time to move again.
Chains.
Huh?
You hook the chains.
I gotta go forward a little.
Now, according to the recreation.gov site, this site is supposed to be bigger than the previous ones, but it actually is smaller because we can't back further down. There's a nice curb in the way, but we made do. If you can't fit your vehicle, if you're going to be spilled over into the road here or parking on the grass, you might be asked to park in a different area.
It's Emma. Who's this? Ellie.
We had some visitors for the evening, so we started up the barbecue grill, we cooked up a little bit of dinner, and just hung out until my bedtime.
Still delicious. Oops.
Time for us to move out of Yosemite Valley, but we'll be nearby in another campground that's a little bit tighter and not as nice as Upper Pines. We have a few days in Indian Flat RV Park, and we're just about 45 minutes from Yosemite Valley, so we're going to still head in. This is coming in off of Route 140. And though we're not coming in on the Wawona Tunnel, there is a little tight squeeze even off of 140 here, just a little rock formation that was carved out. We didn't bring the trailer, but I think it would do just fine coming through here. But if you got a larger rig, you might want to check out what the height requirement is. A quick note about Yosemite Valley, there is a shuttle system. They do have restaurants there. The food wasn't bad, actually. And also there are other services available, such as a post office, the general store, a gift shop, very similar to the Grand Canyon. That's a new record for us. It's day 41 on our trip. We're leaving Yosemite and heading over to Sequoia National Park, but we have a few more tight squeezes before we get out of here. No leveling necessary.
IQ bar products plus free shipping. Compare a delicious IQ bar sampler pack with 7 light protein bars.
I don't think snow's going to accumulate until tonight.
Yeah.
If you're going through the park, when you go to like the Sherman tree and stuff like that, you will be at a higher elevation. There is a possibility that it can accumulate more snow, but it's probably just IQ bar products plus free shipping.
Not going to really freeze just yet. Okay. Alrighty.
You guys have tire chains with you?
No.
Yeah, the state law in California is that all vehicles have chains in them at all times.
Yeah.
So entering without them is entering at your own risk. If anything did happen and you were to get stuck, there's nothing we can do. You'd have to like figure out an arrangement.
Okay. And how long is the drive generally through the whole park?
It is about 52 miles. It takes 2 hours without stops.
Okay. All right. Any scenic vistas to look at today?
On the way down, yeah, the Kings Canyon Overlook. You'll be passing that. You'll be passing several.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to see very far. But...
You will be able to see.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.
All right. Take care.
Like that. 2 of them like this one. That's a Sequoia. Yeah.
They are expecting a good amount of snow accumulation later on this evening, so we're going to watch our timing as we're in the park here and what the temperature is, because if this turns to ice, we'll be in trouble. There's technically two parks here, Kings Canyon National Park and then Sequoia National Park. Most of the roads in Kings Canyon are higher elevation and they are closed. Any scenic vistas are pretty much non-existent today. So we're going to head over to Sequoia and check out the main attractions, but we're not going to stay too long. General Sherman is considered the largest tree on Earth. At the base it is 36 feet in diameter. If you were to go up 180 feet, the trunk would still be 13.5 feet wide. Its largest branch is almost 7 feet in diameter.
It's warm and toasty in there.
Is it? Is the one burning?
It's just not the best weather to be hanging out up here. We're going to head back down to the campsite where we're on the other side of the mountain, and it's really like night and day. We were told that there are some great scenic vistas to go check out, but everything was pretty much clouded in. The weather is great here at camp. We're down around 5,000 feet, no issues, and we're going to be moving on tomorrow. So I stopped at the Eastern Sierra Visitor Center, which is right back here, and get some information about the BLM land to go hiking on, or to camp on. Looks like. So we're going to go do some dispersed camping out here, and I didn't fill up my tanks all the way when we were coming out of the Sierra Mountains by Sequoia National Park. That was really going to hinge on where we were going to camp for the night, and they had the water supply here at the visitor center. So I'm going to top off our tank, and we should be in good shape for the next 3 days at least. These are the Alabama Hills just outside of Lone Pine, California. It's BLM land, and we're first come, first served to try to find a site. On our trip, this is one of the highlights. I thought that we would be staying, but we still got to find a site. I didn't want to get the trailer in any precarious areas, so I broke out the e-bike. Alright, so I just rode my bike quite a little ways through here to get back here, because you could see a sign, but you don't know if it's going to be a sign that allows you to camp or doesn't allow you to camp. Now, if I would have pulled my trailer back here, I would have been backing it out and be hurting. Alright, so there's a campsite back here, but there's no way I am getting through here, even with my truck, let alone pulling my trailer. This again would be a decent site over here. It probably originally was a site, but now it is no longer available. So your number of sites are very limited. I can see a couple off in the distance here. They're smaller rigs, smaller campers. But if you're planning on coming out here and you've got something like I have, 26 feet, the pickings is going to be very slim. You'd be very, very lucky to find something. I did see a pretty large trailer when I pulled in. They've been there the last couple nights, but I really have not seen anything that would be easily to be able to tote in here, and then also easily to turn around and get out. So a lot of these are for smaller campers. So it's not as prevalent as it once was. I'm not sure why they made the change. Maybe things got a little out of hand here. Just the way things have been managed. Unfortunate, but if not, I think you make sure you have a plan B, that you're going to stay at another campground just in case you can't find something. Our plan B was Tuttle Creek, which was about a 10-minute drive from Alabama Hills. It's still a nice campground. It has some nice views, just like Alabama Hills does, but you have to pay for it. It's not that expensive, but you don't have any hookups. Okay, so we are going to pick up where we left off here, probably in about 2 weeks. I have a little project with JD I want to show you next week.
Is it better to be feared
Or respected.
Is it too much to ask for both?
That's how Dad did it.
That's how America does it.
So we'll talk about the uniqueness and the significance of this area in 2 weeks. But that is going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to these videos. Click on that little bell when you want to know when a new one is coming out. And keep an eye on this. Take care, everybody.